'Twas on one April morning, just as the sun was rising. 'Twas on one April morning, I heard the small birds sing. They were singing lovely Nancy, for love it is a fancy, and as sweet were the notes that I heard the small birds sing. Young men are false and full of all deceiving. Young men are false, they seldom do prove true. For they're roving and they're ranging, and their minds are always changing, and they're thinking for to find out some other girl that's new. Oh, if I had my own heart in keeping, oh, if I had my own heart back again, close in my bosom, I would lock it up forever, and it should wander never so far from me again. So why would you spend your long time at courting? Why would you spend your long time in vain? For I don't intend to marry, I would rather longer tarry. Oh, young man, don't you spend all your single life in vain. 'Twas on one April morning, just as the sun was rising. 'Twas on one April morning, I heard the small birds sing. They were singing lovely Nancy, for love it is a fancy, and as sweet were the notes that I heard the small birds sing. April morning. Thanks a lot. This is a ballad which I learned from a singer. I don't know whether she's sung over here, a singer called June Tabor, who's probably one of the best, arguably the best, of the girl singers that the folk revival has produced in England. But she's never sort of been a full-time singer, so maybe not as many people have heard her as should have done. She's a really superb singer. This is a song called Sheath and Knife, which I learnt from her a long, long time ago. And it's one of the big ballads, in a sense. It's about incest, and there aren't too many songs about that. It's about half a dozen songs, of the sort of the classic ballads, which sort of revolve around that theme. And, well, I think it's, judge for yourselves, I think it's a good song. Oh, it's whispered in the kitchen, and it's whispered in the hall. Oh, the broom blooms bonny, and the broom blooms fair, that the king's daughter goes with a child to her brother, and they'll never go down to the broom anymore. He has taken his sister down to her father's dear park. Oh, the broom blooms bonny, and the broom blooms fair, with a yew tree, bow and arrow slung fast across his back, and they'll never go down to the Broom anymore. Oh, it's when that you hear me giving that loud cry. Oh, the broom blooms bonny, and the broom blooms fair. Shoot from your bow and arrow, and there let me lie. And we'll never go down to the Broom anymore. And when that you see that I am lying dead, oh, the broom blooms bonny, and the broom blooms fair. Why then dig for me a grave, put the turf at my head, and we'll never go down to the Broom anymore. Oh, it's when that is heard, her giving that loud cry. Oh, the broom blooms bonny, and the broom blooms fair. Then a silver arrow from his bow he's suddenly let fly, and they'll never go down to the Broom anymore. And he has dug a grave both long, wide and deep. Oh, the broom blooms bonny, and the broom blooms fair. And he's buried his own sister with her child at her feet, and they'll never go down to the Broom anymore. Then he has gone back to his father's own hall. Oh, the broom blooms bonny, and the broom blooms fair. There was music, there was minstrels, all among the ladies all, and they'll never go down to the Broom anymore. Oh, Willie, what gives you such pain? Oh, the broom blooms bonny, and the broom blooms fair. I have lost a sheath and knife that I'll never see again, and we'll never go down to the Broom anymore. But there are ships of your fathers all sailing the sea. Oh, the broom blooms bonny, and the broom blooms fair. That'll bring us good a sheath and a knife unto thee. But they'll never go down to the Broom anymore. There are ships of my father's all sailing the sea. Oh, the broom blooms bonny, and the broom blooms fair. But such a sheath and knife they can never bring to me, and we'll never go down to the Broom anymore. can happen to everybody sooner or later. It happened to me. I can remember once. This is a consolation story for anybody who's ever got up front and forgotten the words. I sang a song called April Morning in the first half, and that was one that it was one of the songs that I really thought I knew well. And I had a concert about 4 or 5 years ago, which was put on by the English Folk Dance and Song Society at the Albert Hall in London, which is a big venue. And it was quite an honour to actually appear at the Albert Hall, and I was a bit nervous about it, and thought to myself, well, start with something you know. So I started with something that I thought I knew, and I did about a verse and a half. And then, the curtain came down, the sort of blackness descended, and you think, hell, what can you do? I mean, it's a big stage. You can't get up. It takes you a verse and a half to get off. There's no way you can do that. You've got to keep going. So I made it up as I went along, which is the only thing I could do, really. And then I ran out of words. So I just sort of carried on in sort of gibberish for about 2 verses, but at least had the presence of mind to sort of make alternate lines sound as if they rhymed. And it's an everlasting tribute to the Albert Hall, to the acoustics of the Albert Hall, that only my wife actually noticed, so it wasn't too bad in the end. But you still panic. It doesn't matter how many times you stand at the front. Yeah, you still you lose a few pounds when that happens to you, I tell you. I was going to do you a song which is a sort of classic in its way. It's a song called Polly Vaughan, or Molly Bourne, or The Shooting of His Deer. They're all the same song. One midsummer's evening, the sun being gone down, young Polly went walking by the side of the pond. She sat under the shady trees, showers for to shine, with her apron wrapped around her, of a swan. Young Willie went hunting with his dog and his gun. Young Willie went hunting as the evening came on, down amongst those green rushes as the evening came on. He shot his own true love in the room of the swan. When he'd seen what he'd done, the way he did run, crying, "Father, dear father, do you see what I've done?" Down amongst those green rushes as the evening came on, I shot my own true love, room of a swan.
stay at home, dear Willie, till your trial do come on, that you may not be banished to some foreign land on the day of your trial. Your father will appear with 100 bright guineas, if that will you please. On the day of the trial, young Tawney did appear, crying, people, oh people, let Willie go clear down amongst those green rushes as the evening came on. He shot his own true love, the room of a swan.
Neighbours all listen, the story I'll tell. 'Tis of a misfortune that has me befell. For I married a wife, and her name it was Nell. She's always a scolding and bawling, for it's £18 pension I've gotten a year, and it causes me wife to drink whiskey and beer, and her tongue like a cannon that sounded me here before the daylight in the morning. To kindle the fire, 'tis me first job. If I don't do it right, I get a belt in the gob, or a kick or a clout, or a slap on the knob, I surely will get from me darling. And it's out for the water, the kettle to boil, and when it comes in I must nurse the young child. Now wish I'd been killed on the banks of the Nile before I had met with me darling. Or it's Nell and their gossip sit down to their tea, whilst I in the corner have nothing to say, or it's out in their garden a digging away, and Nelly the cup she is tossing. Oh, it's in for their leavings I chant for the hop, whilst Nell and their gossips are gone to the shop, backbiting their neighbours or swallowing their drops. Hard fortune attend on me darling, for me shirt without washing it sticks to me back. Jesus sporting with Billy or Jack, or running up scores for every knick-knack, and I must pay out the last farthing. I'm without you or stocking to cover me feet, me bed is without either blanket or sheet. I'm a show to the world when I go on the street. Well, what do you think of me bargain? Now her beauty and praise I mean to disclose. She's dirty and fat with a long runny nose, a disgrace to the woman wherever she goes, and her clothes all in tatters are hanging. She's a beard on her lip like a wandering Jew, not a tooth in her head that is sound, only two, and the shift on her back neither black, white nor blue. Why, it never was wet with the washing. I travelled the whole nations, through France and through Spain, through Egypt and India and back home again, and at Waterloo wounded where I felt great pain, but I ne'er met the match of me darling. So to finish me the tea I formally pray, before she drinks any more whiskey or tea, that something or other may whip her away before the daylight in the morning.
Say Jim Johnson weren't with thee last night, I heard in as plain as could be. I was crossing the mound when I heard a strange sound down by the sycamore tree. I thought perhaps a cow had got stuck in the mud and pulled out her foot with a moo. But I'm satisfied now that that noise weren't a cow, it was Jim kissing you. You my 5-foot flirt in the robes of an angel, you better leave I alone. Why, the way you're acting, it nearly unnerves I. The thing that preserves I is my joviality. Though I've got trouble as to cast the stubble, 'tis you that's the worst of 'em all. So get out of my track, and if you want to come back, you can crawl, crawl, crawl. I remember what happened last Saturday night. The air was so peaceful and still. Oh, and out of the blue came a hullabaloo, and a growling and a cackling so shrill. It came to me head as I crawled out of bed, there's a fox at me chickens, that's true. I crept out in me socks and bumped into the fox, it was Jim kissing you. You my 5-foot flirt in the robes of an angel, you better and leave I alone. Why, the way you're acting, it nearly unnerves I. The thing that preserves I is my joviality. Though I've got trouble as thick as the stubble, 'tis you that's the worst of 'em all. So get out of my track, and if you want to come back, you can crawl, crawl, crawl. I remember what happened last Sunday in church. It near turned the poor vicar grey. While the organist was a rendering Lead Kindly Light, Jim Johnson kept pumping away. And all of a sudden the organ stopped short. The vicar got into a stew. When he went around behind, tell me what did he find? He found Jim kissing you. You my 5-foot flirt in the robes of an angel, you better and leave I alone. Why, the way you're acting, it nearly unnerves I. The thing that preserves I is my joviality. Though I've got trouble as thick as the stubble, 'tis you that's the worst of 'em all. So get out of my track, and if you want to come back, you can crawl, crawl, crawl. And for a long time I've sailed the ocean, and I fought for me king and a country too, for honour and promotion. But now me brother shipmates, I bid you all adieu. No more will I go to sea with you, but I'll ramble the country through and through, and I'll be a rambling sailor. Now it's off to the village then I went, where I saw the lassies plenty. And I boldly stepped up to one of them to court her for a beauty. Oh, her cheeks, they were like the roses red. She'd a fine for the bonnet all on her head. I put the odd bit on her, but she said she was a maid, the saucy little trim-rigged doxy. Oh, I can't and I shan't and I won't go with you, you saucy rambling sailor. For me parents, they would never agree, for I'm promised to a tailor. But I was such a digger to rifle of chums, a guinea says I for a roll in your arms. The deal was done and upstairs we went, myself and the trim-rigged doxy. Well, it's all on the bowling at the staysails fall, we was yard on to yard on bobbing. And me shot locker empty asleep, I fell and soon she fell to robbing. Now she robbed all me pockets of everything I had. She even stole me new boots from underneath the bed, and she even stole me gold watch from underneath me head, the saucy little trim-rigged doxy. But it's when I awoke in the morning bright, I started to roar like thunder. For me gold watch and me money too, she bore away for plunder. Now it wasn't for me watch, and nor me money too, for them I don't value, but I tell you true, I think a little fire bucket burned me bob stay through, the saucy little trim-rigged doxy. Warlike seamen that to the seas belong, I'll tell you of a fight, my boys, on board the Nottingham. It was of an Irish captain, his name was Somerville. With courage bold did he control, he played his part so well. 'Twas on the 8th of June, my boys, when at Spithead we lay. On board there came an order, our anchor for to weigh. Bound for the coast of Ireland, our order did run so. For us to cruise and not to refuse against a daring foe. We had not sailed many lengths at sea before a ship we spied. She being some lofty Frenchman, come a-bearing down so wide. We hailed her of France, my boys. She asked from whence we came. Our answer was from Liverpool, and London is our name. Oh, pray, are you some man of war, or pray what may you be? Oh, then replied our captain, why that you soon shall see. Come strike your English colours, or else you shall bring to. Since you're so stout, you shall give out, or else we will sink you. The first broadside we gave to them, it caused them for to wonder. Their mainmast and their rigging came rattling down like thunder. We drove them from their quarters, they could no longer stay. Our guns did roar, we made so sure, we showed them British play. So now we've taken that ship, my boys, God speed us fair wind, that we might sail to Plymouth town if the heavens prove so kind. We'll drink a health unto our captain and all such warlike souls. To him we'll drink and never flinch out of a flowing bowl. In Bruton Town there lived a farmer who had 2 sons and a daughter dear. By day and night they were contriving to fill their parents' heart with fear. Then said one brother to none other, but unto his brother this did say, I think our servant courts our sister, I think they have a mind to wed. If he our servant courts our sister, that maid from such a shame I'll save. I'll put an end to all their courtship and send him silent to his grave. A day of hunting was prepared. In thorny woods where the briars grew, and there they did that young man murder, and in the brook his body they threw. Oh, well
bed, crying and lamenting for her heart's delight. She slept, she dreamed, she saw him by her, all bloody red in gory pride. His lovely curls were wet with water, his body all agape with blows. Oh, love, for thee I've suffered murder, and I'm lying now where no man knows. So she rose early the very next morning, unto the yonder wood she sped, and there she found her own dear jewel, in the gory plight all bloody red. She took her kerchief from her pocket, she took his head upon her knee, and then she wiped those dear eyes softly. She wiped those eyes that could not see. And since my brothers have been so cruel to take your tender sweet life away, one grave shall hold us both together, and along with you in death I'll stay. One evening fair, he took the air down by Blackwaterside, and in gazing around me, 'twas the Irish lad I spied. All for the first part of that night, we two did sport and play. Then that young man arose and gathered up his clothes, saying, "Fair lady, holiday." Oh, that's not the promise that you gave to me when you lay upon my breast, for you made me believe with your lying tongue that the sun goes in the west. garden, go home and cry your fill, and think on your misfortunes that you brought with your wanton will. For there's not one girl in this wide world so easily led as I. All the fishes will fly, and the seas will run dry. Sure 'tis then you'll marry on. One evening fair, I took me out down by Blackwaterside, and in gazing along her along was the Irish lad I spied. Up a London city on a yes.
If the words don't rhyme, don't complain to me afterwards, because this is the way that Charlie Wills, who's an old chap from Dorchester, is the way he sings it. Whether he forgot the words originally, I don't know, but it sounds better when they don't rhyme anyway.
Up a London city on a one fine day, it was up Cheapside I made my way. A fair pretty maid I chanced for to meet, and with kisses there I there did greet. I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town, up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town. She took me to some house of fame, and so boldly then did enter in. Loudly for supper she did call, a thinking I was going to pay for it all. But I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town, up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town. Well, the supper being over and the table clear, the waiters brought white wine and beer. The waiters brought white wine and the bread, and the chambermaid prepared the bed. And I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town, up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town. Between the hours of 1 and 2, she asked me if to bed I'd go. Immediately I did consent, and along with this pretty maid I went. And I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town, up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town. Her cheeks were white and her lips were red, and I kissed her as she lay in bed. But as soon as she fell fast asleep, then it's out of bed, then I did creep. I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town, up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town. I searched her pockets and there I found a silver snuff box and £10, a golden watch and a diamond ring. So I took the lot and I locked the lady in. I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town, up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town. So come on, young men, wherever you may be, if you meet a pretty girl, you use her free. You use her free, but don't get drunk. Just remember me when I was up Cheapside. I was up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town, up to the rigs, down to the jigs, up to the rigs of London town. luck to the pine pot, good luck to the Barley Mow. Johnny, good luck to the pine pot, good luck to the Barley Mow. Oh, the pine pot out by June, but haven't you bought your lick again and around all the years? Good luck, good luck, good luck to the Barley Mow. Here's good luck to the quart pot, good luck to the Barley Mow. Johnny, good luck to the quart pot, good luck to the Barley Mow. Oh, the quart pot, pine pot out by June, but haven't you bought your lick again and around all the years? Good luck, good luck, good luck to the Barley Mow. And here's good luck to the half gallon, good luck to the Barley Mow. Johnny, good luck to the half gallon, good luck to the Barley Mow. Oh, the half gallon, quart pot, pine pot out by June, but haven't you bought your lick again and around all the years? Good luck, good luck, good luck to the Barley Mow. And here's good luck to the gallon, good luck to the Barley Mow. Johnny, good luck to the gallon, good luck to the Barley Mow. Oh, the gallon, the half gallon, quart pot, pine pot out by June, but haven't you bought your lick again and around all the years? Good luck, good luck, good luck to the Barley Mow. And here's good luck to the half barrel, good luck to the Barley Mow. Johnny, good luck to the half barrel, good luck to the Barley Mow. Oh, the half barrel, the gallon, the half gallon, quart pot, pine pot out by June, but haven't you bought your lick again and around all the years? Good luck, good luck, good luck to the Barley Mow. And here's good luck to the barrel, good luck to the Barley Mow. Johnny, good luck to the barrel, good luck to the Barley Mow. Oh, the barrel, the half barrel, the gallon, the half gallon, quart pot, pine pot out by June, but haven't you bought your lick again and around all the years? Good luck, good luck, good luck to the Barley Mow. And here's good luck to the landlord, good luck to the Barley Mow. Johnny, good luck to the landlord, good luck to the Barley Mow. Oh, the landlord, barrel, the half barrel, the gallon, the half gallon, quart pot, pine pot out by June, but haven't you bought your lick again and around all the years? Here's good luck, good luck, good luck to the Barley Mow. And here's good luck to the landlady, good luck to the Barley Mow. Johnny, good luck to the landlady, good luck to the Barley Mow. Oh, the landlady, the land on the barrel, the half barrel, the gallon, the half gallon, quart pot, pine pot out by June, but haven't you bought your lick again and around all the years? Good luck, good luck, good luck to the Barley Mow. And here's good luck to the daughter, good luck to the Barley Mow. Johnny, good luck to the daughter, good luck to the Barley Mow. Oh, the daughter, the landing and land of the barrel, the half barrel, the gallon, the half gallon, quart pot, pine pot out by June, but haven't you bought your lick again and around all the years? Good luck, good luck, good luck to the Barley Mow. And here's good luck to the slavey, good luck to the Barley Mow. Johnny, good luck to the slavey, good luck to the Barley Mow. Oh, the slavey, the daughter, the landing and land of the barrel, the half barrel, the gallon, the half gallon, quart pot, pine pot out by June, but haven't you bought your lick again and around all the years? Good luck, good luck, good luck to the Barley Mow. And here's good luck to the drayer, good luck to the Barley Mow. Johnny, good luck to the drayer, good luck to the Barley Mow. Oh, the drayer, the slavey, the daughter, the landing, the land of the barrel, the half barrel, the gallon, the half gallon, quart pot, pine pot out by June, but haven't you bought your lick again and around all the years? Here's good luck, good luck, good luck to the Barley Mow. And here's good luck to the brewer, good luck to the Barley Mow. Johnny, good luck to the brewer, good luck to the Barley Mow. Oh, the brewer, the trader, the slavey, the daughter, the landing, the land of the barrel, the half barrel, the gallon, the half gallon, quart pot, pine pot out by June, but haven't you bought your lick again and around all the years? Good luck, good luck, good luck to the Barley Mow. Now here's good luck to the company, good luck to the Barley Mow. Johnny, good luck to the company.
Fill you with transports of delight. That's the bells, you see. And the funny thing was that they all wrote in saying, where can we get the bell ringing song? Where can we get the bell ringing song? And so the BBC, in their generosity, said, well, it's on Tony Rose's latest LP called Young Hunting, price £20. Brought out by Trailer Records, and incidentally there are some on sale tonight. And they all flocked out, all sort of, some of them flocked out anyway, and they all bought this record because they all loved this bit at the beginning, because that's the bit that sent shivers down Jim Lloyd's spine, you see, when he heard this. That lovely bell ringing song, all for the introduction. And the great thing is that on the record, there's no bloody introduction on it, because I hadn't learnt it at that time, you see. It's only straight down the scale as well.
One day in October, neither drunken nor sober, or Bradbury down, I was a-wending my way, when I heard of some ringing, some dancing and singing. I'll always remember that Jubilee day. 'Twas in Ashwater town, the bells they did sound, they rang for a belt and a hat laced with gold. And the men of Northerloo rang so steady and true that there never was better in Devon, I hold. 'Twas a misunderstood, for the men of Broadwood rang a peal on the tenor should never have been. But the men of Northerloo rang so steady and true, 'twere a difficult matter to beat them, I ween. 'Twas in Ashwater town, the bells they did sound, they rang for a belt and a hat laced with gold. And the men of Northerloo rang so steady and true that there never was better in Devon, I hold. Those of Broadwood being naughty, they said to our party, we'll ring you a challenge again in a round. But the men of Northerloo rang so steady and true, no better than they in the west could be found. 'Twas in Ashwater town, the bells they did sound, they rang for a belt and a hat laced with gold. And the men of Northerloo rang so steady and true that there never was better in Devon, I hold. So the match it went on at a good Carlington, and the bells they rang out o'er the valleys below. And the old and the young people, and the hale and the feeble, they came out to hear the sweet bell music flow. 'Twas in Carlington town, the bells they did sound, they rang for a belt and a hat laced with gold. And the men of Northerloo rang so steady and true that there never was better in Devon, I hold. Those of Broadwood once more were obliged to give o'er, they were beaten completely again in a round. But the men of Northerloo rang so steady and true, no better than they in the west can be found. 'Twas in Ashwater town and in Carlington town, they rang for a belt and a hat laced with gold. And the men of Northerloo rang so steady and true that there never was better in Devon, I hold. always planned to make this band the very finest in the land. So I got to hold auditions for to find the best musicians. Some what played, they made the grade, some they played like hell. I picked the best in all the West, and here's the personnel. There was a Bernard Mace on the old string bass, made from a girt big packing case. Next to he come the master raper, wizard of the comb and the paper, Arnold Slug, what blowed the jug, he's barred from all the locals. And I'm the star with my guitar, harmonica and vocal. Now what were worse and made I curse were finding somewhere to rehearse. Neither of the pubs would wear us, for it seemed they couldn't bear us. Folks all laughed, they called I daft, I took it on the chin. I were always fond of her old duck pond, till they chucked I in. Bernard Mace, he sailed through space, followed by his own made bass. Amos the raper, he did try to keep his roll of a paper dry. Arnold Slug went glug, 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 and very quickly sank. And my gum boots was full of newts when I reached the other bank. Now we'd not been barred from the old churchyard, and there one night we practised ours. Every man were full of cider, doing his best with a CC rider. When a figure in white then come in sight, we thought we'd wake the dead. But Parson Sturt in his night shirt said we'd wait tea instead. So Bernard Mace took his old string bass and he said we better had leave this place. Off he flew with Amos the raper, trailing yards of bronco paper. Arnold Slug with his 2-gallon jug for speed were not designed, and I ran like a fox with the parson's boxer following close behind. Oh, then one day old Farmer Gray comes up to me and this did say, all his beast-like music played and would we kindly serenade 'em. So off we sped to the old cow shed. Them cows, they did adore us. They wagged their tails and they banged their pails and joined in every chorus. There was Bernard Mace with his old string bass and a girt big jersey licked his face. Another got attached to Amos the raper, chewed up all his pale pink of paper. Filled the jug of Arnold Slug, his kindness to acknowledge, and I got a kiss off a pretty little miss at the Diggory Cultural College. So in 1 week we, can't do it, quite uniquely, made the charts in the Farmers Weekly. Lay your cows on rhythm and blues, you'll get 3 times more milk than a usual. We've got fans and lots of plans, no rivals do we fear, 'cause every cow loves a mama, don't allow no jug band music in here. Now Bernard Mace has a shirt of lace, and his hair completely hides his face. Likewise that of Amos the raper, getting in between his comb and the paper. Arnold Slug's got a pop-art jug, what broke his mother's heart. We look so queer in all his gear, since we made the charts.
Song with a chorus, which is about as widespread as they come. It's a song, a version of the Golden Vanitee, and the chorus is a familiar one. Simply repeat the last line, basically, which in nearly every case is in the Sankum in the lowlands low. So what you sing is in the lowlands, and Sankum in the lowlands low, or if there are 1 or 2 minor variations in the last line, then repeat whatever the last line is. There's great chance for singing harmonies on this. Any other note except the one on the tune, as once defined as. But give it some welly. Sorry, probably an expression that's not widely known. I sing a chorus. And you get the idea. It goes simply like this. In the lowlands, and the sank 'em in the lowlands, low. Or something. It won't necessarily be in that key, but that's all it is. It's very, very easy. There once was a captain who was boasting on the quay. Well, I have a ship, and a gallant ship is she. Of all the ships I know, well, she is the best for me, and she's sailing in the lowlands low. In the lowlands, she's sailing in the lowlands low. Oh, well, I had her built in the north country, and I had her christened the Golden Vanitee. I armed her and I manned her and I sent her off to sea, and she's sailing in the lowlands low. In the lowlands, she's sailing in the lowlands low. Oh, well, then up stepped a sailor who was just returned from sea. Well, I was aboard of the Golden Vanitee when we were held in chase by a Spanish piratee, and we sank 'em in the lowlands low. In the lowlands, we sank 'em in the lowlands low. Oh, well, we had aboard of us a little cabin boy who said, what will you give me if the galley I destroy? I'll give to you me daughter, well, she is me pride and joy, if you sink 'em in the lowlands low. In the lowlands, if you sink 'em in the lowlands low. So the boy bared his breast and he plunged into the tide. He swam until he came to the rascal pirate's side. He climbed on board, he went below, by none was he espied, and he sank 'em in the lowlands low. In the lowlands, and he sank 'em in the lowlands low. Oh, well, he bore her with his auger, he bore her once or twice. Some was playing cards and some was playing dice, but when he let the water in, it dazzled their eyes, and he sank 'em in the lowlands low. In the lowlands, and he sank 'em in the lowlands low. Yes, some was playing cards, some was playing dice, some was in their hammocks sporting with their wives, but when he let the water in, it put out all their lights, and he sank 'em in the lowlands low. In the lowlands, he sank 'em in the lowlands low. So then the cabin boy he swam on to the larboard side, saying, Captain, take me up, for I am drowning in the tide. I'll shoot you and I'll kill you if you claim me child as bride, and I'll sink you in the lowlands low. In the lowlands, I'll sink you in the lowlands low. So then the cabin boy he swam on to the starboard side, saying, messmates, take me up, for I am drifting with the tide. They took him up so quickly, but when on deck he died, and they buried him in the lowlands low. In the lowlands, they buried him in the lowlands low. Well, here's a curse unto the captain, wherever he may be, for taking that poor cabin boy so far away to sea. For taking that poor cabin boy so far away to sea, and to leave him in the lowlands low. In the lowlands, and to leave him in the lowlands low.
Foldy, roldy, riddle, roll, folly, rolly, ray. Oh.
Well, now you've called on me to
sing and I'll see what I can do. But I don't know what to sing about unless it be one of you. You've often said nice things of me and I know very well they're true. So I'll just return the compliment and say what I think of you. Folly, rolly, riddle, roll, folly, rolly, ray. Folly, rolly, riddle, roll, folly, rolly, ray. With this young man I will begin, 'cause he is the first in sight. Pray sir, where did you get the tin you're spending here tonight? Your conscience pricks you, I've no doubt, and you know very well it's true. You've been and put something up the spout, so I don't think much of you. Folly, rolly, riddle, roll, folly, rolly, ray. Folly, rolly, riddle, roll, folly, rolly, ray. And there's a young man sitting there, and I know he's in disgrace. Before you come in here tonight, you should have washed your face. But soap, he says, is very dear, to buy it in one too. You think a great deal of yourself, but I don't think much of you. Folly, rolly, riddle, roll, folly, rolly, ray. Folly, rolly, riddle, roll, folly, rolly, ray. And there's a young girl sitting there, and I know she thinks it right. She never goes out with her young man, but she stays out half the night. Now you may laugh and wink at me, but I know very well it's true. For your mother, miss, she told me this, so I don't think much of you. Folly, rolly, riddle, roll, folly, rolly, ray. Folly, rolly, riddle, roll, folly, rolly, ray. And there's a couple sitting there, they make it a regular plan. He kisses her and cuddles her and says he's a single man. But I tell you he's a married man and children has got two. And his wife says he can't keep himself, so I'm sure he can't keep you. Folly, rolly, riddle, roll, folly, rolly, ray. Folly, rolly, riddle, roll, folly, rolly, ray. But now I think I'll shut me trap and not say any more. But there's a young girl sitting there I've seen somewhere before. She says she wants to speak to me, and what she wants I know. But I tell you I'm a married man and I can't come home with you. Folly, rolly, riddle, roll, folly, rolly, ray. Folly, rolly, riddle, roll, folly, rolly, ray. But now I'll not say any more in case I make too free. And if I've tried to make you laugh, don't think the worse of me. For all I've said has been in jest and not a word is true. And I hope you think as much of me as I do think of you. Folly, rolly, riddle, roll, folly, rolly, ray. Folly, rolly, riddle, roll, folly, rolly, ray.
No, you really wouldn't like the others, I'm sure.
We was a lying in the Surrey dock one day when the mate said that it was time to get underway. Stormy weather, boys, when the wind blows, our barge will go. Now Skipper's homeward bound, but he's out of luck. The skipper's half drunk in the dog and duck. Stormy weather, boys, when the wind blows, our barge will go. Then the skipper come aboard with the girl on his arm. He's gonna give a barging and take on the farm. Stormy weather, boys, when the wind blows, our barge will go. We sailed away, we sailed like heck. There ain't no no bargeman upon deck. Stormy weather, boys, when the wind blows our barge will go. We sailed her up, we sailed her down, we sailed her into Yarmouth town. Stormy weather, boys, when the wind blows our barge will go. We sailed her round off Offordness, the wind backed around to the south-southwest. Stormy weather, boys, when the wind blows our barge will go. On top of the tide as the barge did fleet, the mate saw a ghost in the mainmast sheet. Stormy weather, boys, when the wind blows our barge will go. Now the mate's at the wheel, the ghost did steer, the cook drank the dregs of the old man's beer. Stormy weather, boys, when the wind blows our barge will go. Then up jumped a mermaid covered in slime, we sat her in the forecastle and we had a good time. Stormy weather, boys, when the wind blows our barge will go. So after all our fears and alarms, we all ended up in the Druid's arms. Stormy weather, boys, when the wind blows